I decided to take another shot at these sunflower microgreens. That last week we didn't do too hot with both of our trays. I ended up tossing over some cobweb mold. So this week we're ramping it up a little bit. Forgive the grout fit, I'm going for straight comfort today. But we need to come up with a game plan. Also, I'm soaking in the sun. It feels good. These microgreens. So where I think we went wrong for the most part is the timing and the humidity. 100% humidity. There was too much moisture and it was too dark for too long. I think I let it go maybe a day and a half too long. So today we're just gonna iron that out, get a full detailed plan, and then go from there. I went to the reservoir to go ahead and get some sun. I feel like I've been sitting inside too long. And it's nice. It's super windy out, but it's really warm. It's perfect. So this is gonna be our microgreen plan. So we're just gonna do one thing of sunflowers to begin. All right, because we needed to slow it down, we needed to kind of chill out a little bit, and then we're gonna progress, in the days coming. So we're gonna plant 4:16 in the AM, right, tomorrow morning. I'm gonna do it before work. It's gonna be a little difficult. Hopefully we get it right, but I'm keeping track of this. So plant 4:16. We're gonna give that, a day, 2 days, let's say 2 days. And then we recheck. And if need be, we can go ahead and take the top off. We're gonna cover them too. And then take the top off only if those roots have started to come out, the root hairs look good, no mold or anything like that, and they're starting to get a little bit of height on them, right? That can be 2 to 4 days, we'll call it. So after they get 1 day of full sun, after already gaining a little bit of strength and height in that main root, then we're gonna go ahead and introduce that humidity at, let's say, 60%. So from here, I think we just go ahead and monitor. We give that maybe about 5 days. I think in that span, maybe 4 to 5 days, we monitor and harvest as needed. So we're gonna say that this is probably happening on the 25th, right? Most likely. We also want to start the basic salad mix. Right? We know that the 25th, we're probably going to be harvesting or starting to get into that area of harvesting with the sunflowers. So let's say, to give us enough time to kind of get everything prepared, get everything set up, we are going to plant on the 19th. And that's going to give us enough time. That's going to give us 3 days from us starting the sunflower microgreens, which do typically take a little bit longer anyways to kind of get set up and everything like that, and to go ahead and put out their main stem, to then start these smaller seeds, easier to penetrate, easier to grow, quicker turnaround, basic salad mix on the 19th. So that way we can kind of take advantage of that humidity coming in the what is that, like the first or the second day after these are planted and put in that grow tent. And we're gonna say that that mix is going to be about 1 cup of basic salad mix with 1/4 of a cup of that red Russian kale and the beets. So we'll say day 3, we will uncover, / introduce humidity with sunflowers. The hope is with this humidity, it's going to take out the need for how often we're gonna have to water them. Because before, when I've done this, I would have to water them maybe every day, every 2 days, which honestly wasn't terrible, but there are times, you know, going in between work and stuff like that, I would forget or I wouldn't be able to kind of keep up on that. So not only would this also help with kind of spacing out that harvest so that way I have things kind of going for a while. I have continuing harvest instead of everything all at once. This would also just take down that workload of all the tasks that I have to do at one time too for that entire grow tent. So this is the morning before I go to work. I just woke up around 5 and, you know, I decided that I was committed to this. We're gonna go ahead and make these microgreens happen. I'm filling up this tray with some soil, getting it all nice and fine. Then I just lay down a nice little layer of some sunflower seeds. I did just leave these sunflowers to sit in the water for about half a day. And then I bring these into the grow tent and I start watering them. And you can see here, I don't know why, maybe I'm on a slant. It like bubbles up here in the corner and exposes the like dry underneath. So I just went ahead and patted that down and then watered the bottom instead. And then I decided to make some use out of that because nothing was gonna grow there and it was gonna look weird. So I put this guy in a little house for some good luck. I never really prepped the trays like this in the morning, and it was actually kind of cool. You know, it's still early enough in the spring that it's pretty dark outside when I wake up. I like to wake up around 5. So I was just out there, you know, with my coffee, just kind of hanging out. So I'm filling up this microgreen tray with the soil. I was growing mushrooms over the winter, so I do have a little bit of compost, just from the leftover mycelium stuff. I did like wood lovers, so there's a little bit of hardwood in here. I'm making sure it's as fine as possible, because there were times where the moisture wasn't breaking all the way through, or it would be a little bit too dense, causing the water just to kind of sit up on top. So I'm really making sure that I'm going through crushing up all the big pieces of that soil if anything's still kind of together, as well as making sure it's all evenly spread, so that way we don't have any like high places somewhere, low places in the other spots, because I feel like that was partially the issue with the sunflowers too. So I'm trying to make sure again that this is as best aerated as possible, as well as fine as possible, so that way that moisture and heat can go ahead and have ways to kind of penetrate and come back up through the soil, instead of just working down or staying in the soil, causing that mold to build up. I'm not gonna lie. Kind of folded on this timing. But it is the 21st. That update of the sunflowers that I showed you was the 20th. So we are going ahead and putting these in the grow tent, and we are going to let them kind of do their thing. I was a little bit light with the seed spacing. I'm hoping that it's not going to be too bad. You know, normally they grow in pretty dense. I'm hoping also with them being a little bit more spaced out, that hopefully the mold isn't as much of an issue. The sunflowers are just now starting to sprout. Go ahead and take a look at these guys. They're not looking too bad. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and water the bottom of this tray. Don't mind it being a little dirty. My basement's on a little bit of a slant, so more of the water collects here in the little corners, which is probably why that thing kind of did that explosion that first time. Or not that first time, but with these sunflowers down here. Like that time that it got right there. And we're gonna try a little top water also. I already moistened it, so hopefully it doesn't kind of displace it too much. I'm trying to go really light with it. Okay, I feel pretty good with that. Now we're gonna cover this up, leave this here for a day and a half to 2 days, and then uncover and kind of let them expand.